This short video is on my multi-use table. I made it with pipe fittings, and I used the pipe union underneath the table there so that I can lock this into position so that it doesn't move. It's a little bit stiffer, but here there is it's in a position for maybe dining. Here it'll give you a little bit more cooking area, and with the door closed it locks itself, well, with this tightened up, this locks itself into position so it doesn't swing around for driving. But if you want to sit on the bed and eat, you can use that as a table there. And by tightening up this union, it keeps this from spinning. I still haven't worked out a clamp to keep this arm from moving, and I don't even know that it's completely necessary. But you can also flip it out of the way when you don't want it at all. Or use it as a additional cooking space in this direction or that direction, whatever tickles your fancy. And then at night, to get it out of the way, you can just put it back into this position and it's out of your way of the bed. There's also room with this in this position for somebody to sit there and eat. And there's also room in this floor space here to set up another table so that a second person could eat here. That has folding adjustable legs. And there's also a small folding table at the end of the bed there that you could pull out. And between the bed and the wall there's room for camp chairs, and also at the end of the bed. So here, let me slide this around. Okay. You could also use it here for more prep area for cooking. Or like I say, like that. The plastic is 1.25 inch PVC, and on the end cap I sliced the side of the cap off so that it'll fit flush up against the bed here. Then I just use clamps from the electrical department to fasten it to the bed. And then all of this piping is 1-inch piping. And this piece here, I bought it longer, and then I cut it to length to get the height that I wanted. And the rest of these pieces are just stock sizes. This one is 12 inches long, That's a close-in nipple. And you could even pull it out and take the table off if you wanted to get it out of the way completely. Maybe I'll go ahead and do that to show you. Let me see if I can set up this camera. Okay, this piece can go in front of the bed or next to the seat or whatever, and the same for the table. This is the end that I trimmed shorter. Okay, and there it's back on. I've seen other videos where people have just, oh, this is a flange, a pipe flange fitting. It's real common that this closed nipple is screwed into. Some people just use what's called the street elbow here. That's what this is actually. And then they just screw this into the flange fitting. But the problem that I see with that is after it swivels a few times, those threads will tend to get loose because, you know, they'll wear on the threads. Where with this type of union, the threads clamp it in place, but it actually spins on the sealing surface. This one is convex, and the one on this one is concave. So that's it in a nutshell. I decided to insulate the inside of the door panels with open cell foam. This area is going to be subject to water and getting damp because the window seals where the window goes down here, these rubber seals aren't going to be 100% watertight. I did replace these seals, but if any moisture does get down there from rain, I'm hoping that the open cell foam will allow the water to evaporate quicker than if I put the closed cell foam in there. Because with closed cell foam insulation, if there's any kind of a vapor barrier and water does get behind it, it's hard for it to evaporate, so you end up with rust and mold. So the way I made these panels, I made them for both sides. We'll walk around here, show you the other side. I cut strips of cardboard, and then I put them on the inside, and then I used the hot glue gun to glue them together for a pattern. And because the cardboard is stiff, it didn't want to come out the smaller hole. So after I got it all formed and glued up, what I did was I marked it with the magic marker. I don't know if you can see it here, there, and there, and here, down here, and then across there. And so then I took the hot melt glue joints apart so that I could get the cardboard back outside the smaller hole. And then once it was outside, I re-glued it into position, and I used a small torch to heat up the hot melt glue. But you could use, a hot air gun, maybe an old electric iron that you don't care too much for, or whatever. But I re-glued those joints together, and then I put a brace across the top of it here, because I couldn't get to that area when it was inside the door. I then laid it on this open cell foam material that I salvaged from a dumpster, and I cut out the pattern, and then I flipped the pattern upside down to cut out for the other door. And it probably wouldn't matter which side of this foam I put in or out, but that's just the way that I did it. I still have to do the side doors, and I'm thinking that I could even use this pattern to cut some carpeting and put a layer of carpeting in there as well. I was originally thinking about making panels so that there would be an opening here for a storage area, but there's not a lot of area there. But if I was to do that, it would be nice to have, the carpeting in there.